right, welcome back. This is Jana, and I am here with my fellow knitter friends from Illinois, Lindsay and Jill. Welcome. They're going to be regular-ish guests on the podcast because it's super fun, and they're funny, and we enjoy it. So we decided to record our own, personal knit night and make it and call it a podcast. So, what were the questions we said we were going to talk about?
Whips.
Show and tell.
Show and tell. Okay.
My favorite part of any knitting gathering, when you get together with friends, don't you always start with show and tell?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You start.
Me start?
Why not?
You're the one that's super excited about it.
Okay. I am. I learned some new things.
Oh, okay. Tell us. Show us.
So they're probably not new to other people. I am still, if you could be a beginner knitter that's knit for a while, I've been a little bit risk averse, but I learned a bunch of things when I made.
That's darling. Hold it close to your. Oh, it's a baby eyelet hat.
I love it.
Darling.
Yeah.
What's the name of the pattern?
So it is called.
I was going to ask, so we can put the link down below.
Preemie hats. It's a free pattern. It's on Ravelry. It's called Preemie hats. It's by Carissa Browning.
Okay.
And I looked in the comments and the notes. I made it as a preemie hat before, but I looked in the comments for the notes to find out how many to cast on for a newborn. So I did 2, and it gives you 4 or 5 different versions of the hat. So I've made 2.
That's darling. And so what yarn did you use for both?
These were both Plymouth yarn baby
something.
I had the others with me. I will check.
That's right.
These have not been Ravelry yet. But what I was very proud of myself for with this one, we had been talking a lot about tinking.
Right.
And we also talked a lot about product versus process knitter. Mm-hmm. And so when I started, I did not realize that the eyelets were supposed to be offset. They actually go in diagonals. Mm-hmm. So I got up to the 3rd eyelet and went, I'm a stitch off. I've done this. I'm a stitch off. So I tinked 3 rows all the way back to then go forward again to find out I thought I was still a stitch off, which I probably am in my head, but on
a stitch off. We're all a stitch off, aren't we?
So I did that, and then the other thing, I noticed that I dropped a stitch, and for the first time I was able to fix it. I watched your video on how to pick up your stitch without a crochet hook.
And you did it.
And I fixed it, and I'm so proud of myself because I was all the way up here, and it had dropped down here by an eyelet, and I was nervous, and it turned out well.
You did it. You rescued it.
I did.
All by yourself.
Yes, because you weren't there. You weren't
on separate screens.
I know.
I had to fix it myself. We all have to grow up sometime.
And just for our viewers who might not have seen the previous podcast with Jill and Lindsay, the previous podcast, they were in Jill's kitchen together. But now, unfortunately, and fortunately, there's always pros and cons. Lindsay lives in a different town now. She moved for a very good reason. But it is a little bit
different.
Tug your heartstring just a little bit that you're not in the kitchen together. But it's okay because now Jill
can fix her things.
You've been pushed out of the knitting nest and you're doing it on your own.
I am. I have to learn how to fix things.
You leveled up.
I did.
Yes.
Yay.
I leveled up. So it's all about the baby hats. There is someone at work who will not watch this podcast who is having a baby in August.
Oh, so cute.
And so this one is called, it's just a Plymouth yarn pattern, Dreambaby DK Paintpot striped hat. This is, it's a patterned yarn. Oops, there we go. Dreambaby Paintpot.
Okay, right.
So, and it comes in a couple different colors. I've
what was the name of the pattern on that one?
Dreambaby DK Paintpot striped hat.
Oh, cute. Okay.
And it's a free one as well. I think this one is made out of the Serdar Snuggly Crofter. This is one that just has a baby fair aisle.
Right. Right.
So really, it was quite easy.
It's super cute. So
yeah, I'm really happy with how they've turned out. They're very soft.
You have known recipients for the eyelet hat?
Yes. Actually, yes, they are actually all three going to the same recipient. So
oh, cute. And she's not due till August and won't watch the podcast.
Correct. Okay. So I'm safe.
Because she's probably not a knitter.
She is not a knitter, although she is someone that I would consider knit worthy because she appreciates the sentiment behind handmade.
Right. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So what's currently on the needles? Those were your finished object fobs, right?
That was my finished object fobs. I have a couple more. I think the last time we talked, we were talking about slippers.
Yes.
So I finally have new slippers because the last podcast we had, I showed you the holes in mine. Right. So these are.
Yay! And Lindsay has her birthday clogs.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, so there was actually enough. I was going to do a light pink, but I had enough left over from Lindsay's that I used one strand of each.
Nice.
Yeah, so like.
So yeah. Cute.
So that is that. The other thing, I got very adventurous and tried. They're not quite finished because I have a skill that I have to learn yet.
Wow, that's fantastic. And okay, and what yarn is that?
This is a Malabrigo yarn, Malabrigo Rios.
Worsted, yep, love it.
Yep, worsted. These are called lenticular mitts.
Okay. Good.
The purpose behind it, I was supposed to try to learn how to do double points because I have friends that swear by double points, and they kept saying, if you just tried, maybe you just don't have the right project. And I tell you what, I tried like 3 times and I just knit them on my baby T-Rex needles. And it worked. But what I need to do, I do have to figure out a way because I have to pick up the stitches and finish the thumb, and I cannot do those on baby T-Rex needles.
No, so, magic loop it. Yeah, just magic loop it.
So that's.
You're okay with magic loop, right?
I will learn.
Okay, I'll help you.
There we go. You
can do it. I have a magic loop video someplace. It's probably antiquated, but it's on there somewhere.
No, I actually used it when I was swatching for some socks.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I tried it. I just need to try it again.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, don't you think it's all personal preference? I mean, my mother loves double points. I hate them. I mean, I learned that way. I started with double points, and I totally knit socks for years with double points.
I've tried double points. I've tried magic loop. I love 9-inch circs, and I think it is totally up to what you like.
Yep.
There are times.
You're the boss of your own knitting.
Yes. There are times, however, when you will need to use one or the other for certain techniques. But just for, like you can't 9-inch circular all the way down to the top of a hat.
Right.
Right. I mean, you can't 9-inch circular the thumb on a fingerless mitt.
Nope.
However, you can magic loop or double point either way, and it doesn't have to be one or the other, and you do what works for you, and your friends can deal with it.
And I have a project bag.
They're so cute.
Made a project bag. One of my favorite patterns.
You guys are fantastic sewists. Is that a word? Sewist?
Seamstresses.
No, I don't like the word seamstress. It's like waitress. It's server. Like, why is everything gender specific? It's just you're a sewist or a sewer, right? Boys sew, boys knit, right? Anyway.
I'm just trying to think of what it would be.
She's trying to syntactically go through it. You can see.
I have a friend who's a 4-H leader, and she teaches 4-H sewing workshops, and she calls her kids sewists. That's hard to say.
Sewists.
It is difficult.
Well, I'm finding that as I am...
But you're really good at it either way, whatever we call it.
So now that I'm leaving some projects undone, I like to have everything in a bag, and I was outgrowing the bags, and now I understand why people have multiple whips. I was kind of a single whip girl, and
You were monogamous? You were a serial monogamous knitter.
I
Until
was.
like a month or two ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now you get it.
Well, I understand why, because you get stuck.
Or your mood changes and you're fickle. I'm fickle. Lindsay's fickle. We know that.
So when you guys are fickle, what's your go-to? It's like
Socks.
what?
Socks. I don't know. Lately I've been doing...
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I cut you off.
It doesn't matter. Go ahead. I want to hear from you.
Lately, I was in kind of a knitting rut because I was super busy starting a new job and I didn't want to work on anything. Like I have my block 2 going and I just wasn't feeling it. So what did I do? Cast on a sock. I just cast on another sock while we were sitting here.
You mean a different sock than the sock the other day?
No, that's the one I cast on and now I'm on sock 2 right now.
Already.
Oh, okay, I thought you meant you cast on a sock of a whole other pattern from the one you did the other day.
Oh no, I figure podcast people don't know that I cast that sock on the other day.
Well, now they do.
I want to see it. I haven't seen it.
I want to see it.
Jill, you have to finish. What are you working on?
You didn't show us your whips. You showed us your fobs, not your whips.
Okay. Well, after several rips, I'm jumping in.
Yeah! Ooh, yay!
It's so pretty.
Oh, wait. See, we can't see whether she's knitting it which way.
I am knitting it the right way, and I am telling you, it is hard.
It'll get better.
I don't know that Jill saw you dancing, so if you want to do that one.
I did because I heard it in my head. You spin me right round, baby, right round. I'm not sure that Lindsay was born.
I wasn't, but I know the song. It's fine.
It doesn't matter if she was born or not. I mean, I wasn't born for most of Elvis, and that's okay.
So
I don't like Elvis.
You don't have to like Elvis.
I've been to Graceland.
So have I. Alex was obsessed with Elvis, my brother. He was
Why?
Elvis like 4 years in a row for Halloween.
Okay.
Not kidding. My mom made him she bedazzled jumpsuits. They were pretty legit.
You know, actually, if you think about it, that could almost come back. I mean, if you look at the jumpsuits that the girls are wearing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just bell bottom out the bottoms a little bit.
Yeah.
I lived through the first bell bottom experience. I was about 9 when bell bottoms were huge. I was in 4th grade and I had maroon corduroy bell bottoms. Now I thought I was hot. I mean, they were awesome.
And when you walked, you went whoosh, 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 because the corduroy.
I just don't like the feel of corduroy.
No.
On a hand.
No, nobody likes the feel of corduroy.
But back then, hey, now, I have to say, though, I have never owned a pair of wedge heels. Never.
Oh, I wore wedges today. They weren't wedgie wedges. They were like booties that have wedges.
I feel like you tip over
You
on
don't.
wedges.
You don't. I never once did I tip over today.
But see, I'm not that.
I'm watching. She's going to tip over on those wedges.
But I have never actually owned or purchased a pair of high heels because I just can't do that. They're bad for you.
Oh, the ones that I was wearing today are not. I promise. They're dance goes. Dance goes are good. But that's not knitting related.
No, but it's funny. Okay, I want to see the sock. Is this a vanilla cuff down, or is this gonna have a pattern on the leg?
No, it's a vanilla cuff down. Just from a book, reading it.
Yeah.
Sock recipe.
Show us the book, because we'll put a link to that too. Show us the book.
Okay.
It's a really cool book. I wish I had the book.
It's a gift.
Cool.
Sock Knitters Workshop by I feel bad. Ewa, E-W-A, Jostas, J-O-S-T-E-S, Jostas, and Stephanie VanDerLinden.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of her. Yeah.
Okay.
She has several patterns on Ravelry. Stephanie VanDerLinden. Uh-huh.
It's fantastic because it goes through casting on. There's a chapter on casting on and all the different ways to cast on and all the different kinds of cuffs and that. And it also has a nice little cheater thing. So I'm follow the blue yarn. I picked which vanilla sock that I wanted. It's like a choose your own adventure book.
Yep.
It is, because isn't socks like choosing your own adventure?
Yes. Cool.
Yes.
And so what yarn are you using for your sock?
I am using a yarn that was gifted to me 2 years ago with the intention of me starting socks. My friends gifted me a thing of sock yarn and the book of sock knitting. And I said, oh, I'm not ready. And they said, you will be. Just put it on your shelf and you will be.
And so what is it? What's
here I am, 2 years later. Fiber seed.
Okay.
Yep, fiber seed, and this is Grape Crush.
It's pretty yarn.
Okay, because the color on my monitor, it didn't look grapey. It kind of looked gray, but that's because my monitor is it's wonky. So, okay.
Well, and I'm thinking that I look a little bit blue. Yeah, that looks
now it looks purpley gray.
It's purplier than that in life.
It is. It's pretty purpley.
Okay, so now, Lindsay, you need to show us the socks you cast on several days ago.
I can't wait to see them.
Okay. So, this is my finished sock.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Tell us the yarn and all the goodness details.
Okay. I made notes so I would remember. It is the Cascade Heritage Silk for the cuff, heel, and toe in raspberry.
I like that toe.
Was that part of the same one that was from your shawl?
It's the exact same one. I'll show that when I get to my finished.
But it's the same yarn. Okay.
It's literally the same yarn.
Oh, squish.
And then this is the Plymouth yarn Happy Feet Splash in blueberry. And this is the one that I cast on when we started.
You are so far.
When we started like an hour ago?
Yeah.
You knitted that far in an hour?
Yeah, I was casting on.
Damn. Yeah. T-Rex needles. She's fast with the T-Rex needles.
Those T-Rex needles, they go super fast.
Not mine. My T-Rex needles.
I'm totally going to have enough of this, though, to probably do another pair of socks. So I'm thinking I'll do...
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you could do a cowl.
I don't have enough of it to do a cowl.
If you have enough for a pair of socks, you have enough for a cowl.
We'll see. I really want to do this sock, though. So this with like the purple in place of the pink.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then I am also thinking, which I don't have enough if I just do toe, heel, cuff, because I also just bought this yarn.
What is that?
So this is from our local yarn store in my town, and it's called The Bird's Nest Knit and More is the yarn store. And she just started carrying this. It's Direful, Direful yarn.
Okay.
And the dyer is in Illinois. And so that's why Jackie wanted to carry her yarn in her store. And this is called Curiosity Voyage.
Now, is that fingering weight, 80 wool nylon?
Hold on.
Again, wouldn't you love to name yarns?
Yes. Yeah, it's 80-20.
Okay.
So I'm kind of thinking I might do that with this.
Oh.
So we'll see.
On local yarn shop day, last Saturday.
Yes.
I bought it on local yarn shop day.
So I hold up the completed sock, if you would. I have a question.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to ask you. What kind of heel is that?
Oh, it's my first ever Fish Lips Kiss heel.
Oh, what did you think?
Oh, it's so easy.
Yeah. It seems, well, I can see why it's called that because it seems.
Yeah.
Right? See, I don't think that I don't know that would fit my foot very well. Huh.
I think I might like heel flap and gusset better. But this was just so easy.
She said there was no counting, right? Is that
no
what you
counting. Never once did I count.
And I'm laughing because everybody acts like counting's so hard.
Oh, if I have to like put it down.
Well, right.
In the middle. So anyway, that's the heel. And I just did
I will say that those types of heels make the contrasting yarn look really good. You know,
yeah,
because
it's very square.
Right. It's a little more conducive to that contrasting color than the heel flap and gusset. So, well, I guess it depends on your preference, but yeah.
So anyway,
awesome.
That's that one.
It looks cute.
So that's a fob and a whip.
Yes.
Yes.
And then I have in the same yarn because, you know.
Love it. Wow.
This has not been blocked yet.
Okay, remind everybody that's the Cascade Heritage
Silk.
Right, and then the Plymouth Happy Feet.
Plymouth Happy Feet.
Okay, and tell everybody the name of that pattern?
This is the girl from the grocery store.
Okay, and that's fantastic. That put it around. That looks so good on you.
It does.
I mean, not with this sweater, but.
No, but just.
No, it's going to be so pretty. I can't wait to see it after it's blocked and that.
Yeah, and the lace will open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I have a blocking question in relation to her shawl. Like, can you make your shawl larger or smaller depending on how aggressively you block that kind of thing?
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
Because you can stretch. I mean, it's hard to make it smaller, kind of.
I guess what I meant is, can you control the size of the shawl after in the way that you block it?
Yeah, somewhat, because it's so elastic, especially with larger needles, and like if you did a size 6 with fingering weight yarn, it's all very loopy and open. And so, did you use a 6 or a 4, or what did you use for that, Lindsay?
It was a 6.
Right. So if I'm using a 6 for fingering weight yarn like this, then it's all very airy and light to start with. And then if you block it out and you stretch it just a teeny bit, all those yarn overs open up. And yeah, it definitely ends up bigger than it is now.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
Right. I want good photos on your Ravelry page when that's blocked.
I will get there. Right now I am blocking my block number 1 of the Norah's Vintage Afghan.
Right.
So I just put that on my blocking mat this afternoon.
Aww.
Nice. You won't use your blocking mats for the shawl, would you?
Where am I going to block it?
Well, I mean, do you have enough mats for that?
I have clothes.
I don't know.
We'll see. I don't know where else I'd put it.
When I block things that are really big, like, for example, the Inara wrap back here, I mean, that thing ended up being like 7.5 feet long. And I mean, I don't have enough mats for the width and that whole length. And so I just took a clean flat sheet and just put it out on the floor.
Okay. Maybe I'll do that.
And then close the door to keep the cats out. Because, that's...
Yeah. I don't have that problem.
So what else do you have going on, Lindsay? What else? I know you still have your 3-color cowl, and that's in timeout.
Yeah, I'm going to rip it out. I don't like it. I know. I may just call it and just get rid of it because I just am not happy with it.
You're not feeling it?
No. And then I cast on a double knitting project. Right. I mean, I can't really show you it because I don't want to mess up my needles, but it's these colors. So it's like a mustard and maroon. It's Harry Potter double knitting that my friend Josh actually found a bunch of different Harry Potter motifs and set them to a certain width because our local yarn store is doing a knit along with an Alice in Wonderland double knitting pattern. And we both wanted to learn to double knit, but we don't like Alice in Wonderland. So he found a bunch of Harry Potter motifs and he's doing it in Ravenclaw colors. And I am doing it in Gryffindor colors, but I have just literally just cast on. So
when we talked about that the other day and you messaged me, I am not a double knitter. I have not learned to do that yet, but I have one of the moderators in our Facebook group recommended Nathan
Sockmatician.
Sockmatician.
Yep. I watched all of his double knitting videos, and that was very helpful.
It was helpful. Okay, good.
So I used his cast on, which is supposedly going to become invisible.
Okay.
And I am knitting one yarn in each hand the way he does too.
Right.
Because most is the wrong word. Everyone that I know who's doing the either Alice in Wonderland or my friend Josh are holding both colors in one hand, and that's just
so when they do that in a similar way that you would knit color work, are they holding both colors over? They have like a thimble thing with guides, or do they just hold it in two strands over their index finger?
They just hold one strand at a time and let the other one kind of sit there.
Okay. I would think that would jack with their tension.
I don't know. But I'm not doing it that way.
I'm not a double knitter, so I will be one day. It's on my bucket list.
I wouldn't say that I'm a double knitter yet. I've knit 6 stitches. Well, 12 because
that's 12 more than me.
And I've
but you said yet.
Right.
It's a powerful word.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is for sure. So let's see. What else have I known you were doing? You need to cast on block 2.
No, I have that block 2 cast on.
Oh,
no, it's partway done.
No, it's not done. Where is it?
It is partway done.
Oh, it is partway done. It's almost halfway done. I just started working on the shawl and really wanted to finish that.
Well, and I have to say, I think so far we're through block 4, and I think block 2 was the most tedious so far.
It's so tedious. So this is how far I am on it.
And that looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm happy with it. I just haven't worked on it. It's hard to work on. I go up to the local yarn store on Saturdays, and a bunch of people go up from like 9 to noon and knit. And this is a hard thing to work on in a group.
It is.
So I did the shawl because it was just garter stitch. I did a lot of it there. Right. And I tend to just do a sock or a hat there because it is super fast. And there's a children's shopping mall at Christmas time at the bank that my friend Josh works at. And he does like a little stand with hats. And so I've been working on some hats to put at the stand. So
show us. Can we see them?
They're not here.
Oh. Teaser.
Sorry.
That's all right.
They're just
Where are the hats?
What?
Where are the hats?
They're in another bag somewhere.
I have not seen them.
They're just plain hats. Don't get too excited.
Hats, it's the new washcloth. I like them.
It's the new washcloth. Okay. Speaking
Jill
of
did used to only knit washcloths, so it is the new washcloth for her.
I did. I moved to hats. Now I'm branching out to socks. I did a fingerless mitt.
You're all over it. You are the boss knitter.
My own knitting.
So if we ever have Purl Together t-shirts made up, I'm going to go on there. I'm going to go #boss knitter or something. I don't know. Or I'm the boss of my knitting, or I don't know. Maybe we'll have the Purl Together logo, and then in a like half circle around the top, I'm the boss of my knitting. I don't know.
I just decided that the retreat is in October, that I need something to wear besides a hat, because I can't wear a hat for 2 days straight. And
you could.
I could.
I could also wear
or carry a washcloth with me.
You could wear fingerless mitts.
I could. With the thumbs not done, and maybe somebody would have pity on me and do my thumbs.
Yes, no, someone will sit and help you do your thumbs.
You do my thumbs.
That's right.
I will do my thumbs.
That's right. You can do your own thumbs.
I can do my own thumbs.
I just realized I'm sitting here knitting on this, and I have no idea what yarn this is.
Oh, good. Breaking your own rules.
What are you doing?
Oh, it's just you were saying earlier. What's your kind of go-to, right?
Huh?
Oh, so, okay. Well, I don't know if Lindsay was done. I'll take my turn if Lindsay was.
No, I'm done.
Okay. Because I know you have stuff in timeout, but.
Oh, she does. Well, she has stuff that is still a wet.
My harvest cardigan. I'll get to it. The thing is,
okay,
it's now being warm out, and I don't want to knit a cardigan in the warm weather.
Well, that's a lot. It's a lot to have it on your lap. We did that tutorial originally last summer, but it was a lot. And I sat near the air conditioning the whole time.
Yeah, I'll get back to it.
It is. No, it is a lot during the summer. And, you know, you're on Sleeve Island. It takes a while.
Yeah.
I know. I hear you. So I have a lot of whips, and I won't even show them all. I mean, I have more than I will admit. Yeah. My go-to is socks, and I cast these on during this weekend because it was a recital, and because, as you well know, there's a lot of hurry up and wait. There's a lot of hurry up and wait, and they have to go stand here and wait. They have to go get a photograph, and then they have to wait. And then they have to wait for this class to have their stage time, and then they have to wait for this class, and there's a lot of sitting around. So the socks that I have in progress that I was not going to take because they're complicated and difficult are the same ones I've had a long time. But these are the Ornette. Whoops, wrong side.
Oh, wow.
These are complicated and difficult.
Oh my gosh, those are beautiful.
I know, but I'm not taking these to...
Oh my gosh, those are so pretty.
Well, let me find the one that's done. Wait.
You almost need to wear shorts when you wear those socks.
And like those sandals, like I don't know where the other one is.
They should not be hidden under pants.
Anyway, so the problem is though, this is not something like you don't travel, you don't take that somewhere. And so I just cast on a vanilla sock, and that's kind of just a purpley, but I have some leftover sock yarn. This is this and this. See,
pretty.
Right, contrasting.
That'd be pretty.
And this has been in my stash forever. It's Steinbach wool, active. This has been in my stash for probably 10 years. Yeah. So.
Do you do 1x1 or 2x2?
Oh, on the ribbing?
Yeah.
2x2. I prefer 2x2. I don't like 1x1 ribbing. I find it tedious and annoying.
I just don't like how it looks.
I will do it if I have to, or if the pattern calls for it, or if the pattern, if it needs to flow into the resulting pattern in a certain way that requires 1x1. Like if you're going into cables that go like this and the ribbon's going to split off, if there's a reason to do 1x1, then I will. I don't enjoy it. My go-to is 2x2. So this, however, this is interesting that this is on my desk right now with the cat hair and all. Okay, so do you see those?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, don't worry about the cat hair. Okay, those in the middle look like cables, right?
Yeah.
They are not. They're not cables.
What are they?
They're twisted stitches. Now, these are traveling. Now, those are some cables that cause that to travel. But this ribbing is a faux cable, and it's a series of twisted stitches where you have 4. Okay, so you have 4 stitches. These 2 are twisted together. These 2 are twisted together on one row. Then you knit around. Then the second time, these 2 are twisted together.
Okay.
It's interesting. And what's also interesting is I just finished the Block 4 video for Norah's Vintage Afghan. And the right twist that's in this block is part of the technique that's in that sock.
Oh, cool.
Oh, neat.
So, right. So that's interesting. Anyhow, this was just a vanilla, I got to have something to do while I'm sitting in the auditorium waiting for dress rehearsal for 2 hours.
I did so much of the mitts in there until they turned the lights out because it's a really dark purple.
Right. Right. And I mean, I can do ribbing I don't have to look, but yeah. And then I am about to finish this for a fundraiser I'm doing the cast off. I'm doing an I-cord bind off.
Uh-huh.
Which is, and then down the side, when you do a shawl, like Lindsay, when you did that shawl, the edge of it was probably like a garter stitch edge where you knit the first 3 stitches and then you yarn over and then you carry on.
That's not what this was.
So how is your edging done?
Knit 1, knit front, back, knit 2 together.
Okay, so you knit 1, and so that first stitch on the very edge, though, when you turn to the wrong side, you knit 1. Yeah, so it ends up being kind of a little garter stitch edge just on that one. Yeah. So what I have discovered, though, is I really prefer an I-cord edge, and you could totally do this with just 3 stitches, because see how that makes it really tidy?
Oh, that's pretty.
It does.
It's a really tidy edge. So I did this all the way, the pattern calls for that all the way down the edge, and then an I-cord bind off, so you have that all along the bottom as well. This is the Dot Rays shawl by Stephen West, and he has several versions of the Dot Ray pattern. One is for speckled yarn, one is for gradient yarn, one is for stripes. There's several of them. It's not a free pack. I think it was like $5 or something, but it's short rows with these yarn overholes. See that?
Okay.
And so that's, anyway, and the short rows, here, it all comes from this side. See the holes?
Uh-huh.
That's the Dot Rays, okay? And those are double yarn overs, like I said, the yarn over video. Right.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so this is just acrylic because I'm doing it for a fundraiser, and like whoever bids on it, like I have no idea if they're going to know how to take care of wool or not.
When you do something like that, do you put a care tag?
Yeah, I will. Just so they know it is machine washable, like on Gentle, but it is.
Yeah.
And this was just one of those giant, those big Karen cakes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's for a fundraiser, and those are like 600 yards, and I actually almost finished the whole shawl, and then I had to bust into the second one for the bind off. Well, actually, no, not quite. It was like the last maybe 5 rows. Yeah, actually, you can tell. Because this color should be next to that kind of orangey color down here, but whatever.
Nobody will know.
But what's interesting is I learned the I-cord edge, and now I'm doing the I-cord bind off, and I'd seen it, and it's super easy. I'm like, why have I never done this before?
Really?
So easy. Yeah. So I'm happy about that. I am still working on my 3-color cowl.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Oh, that's pretty. I love the purple in there.
Oh, I really like how that.
And then, I'm up to the lace section, just starting that lace section here, right?
Yeah, that's pretty.
So, yeah. So there's that. Oh, I have lots of whips. I don't know. Those are like the 3 that are here. These are the 3 that are receiving the most attention at the moment.
Yeah.
But then, yes. But then
wait, there's more.
Oh, there's always more. Oh, well, there's still this shawl.
Yeah.
That was for my kids, and that didn't get done this winter. And now, despite the fact that it's May and snowing, it's still not done. Their next knit along, I wanted it to be a shawl because I'm kind of in shawl mode. So we'll have to talk about that. But what I want to do, and I've said this during knit night, so it's not a big secret. I have another fundraiser coming up. I need to knit something. They do this huge fundraiser it's not a silent auction. I almost said that. I don't know why. It's they hire a professional auctioneer, and it's a hoot. It's just a riot. And last year I did the Celtic Myth pattern. That's a fingering weight shawl that's knitted in a semicircle, and then you do a cable cast on, and you knit the Celtic cable border across the bottom perpendicularly to the rest of the body of the shawl. So that's what I did last year, and it went over really well. It sold very well. And then, so I'm trying to find something that I can kind of double dip, and I can do something for this fundraiser, but also have it be the knit along because I just don't have enough hours in the day to do 2 shawls in 4 weeks. I don't have enough. Yeah, I can't. I don't have enough time. I don't knit that fast. I need to find something Celtic-ish, but that people would think would be fun to knit with me.
Yeah.
So if you're watching the podcast, drop your suggestions in the comments below. Yeah. Yeah. And I guess it doesn't have to be Celtic themed, but that seems to go over pretty well.
Yeah.
So, right. It doesn't have to be though. Yeah. So I'm pattern surfing for that. Right. As if I don't have enough whips. But I want to do something for this thing, so I will. So Jill, what's next for you?
What's next for me?
Yeah.
Another hat.
How many hats does that baby need? Come on now.
Well,
all the hats.
I saw one. It's called a Tchaikovsky hat.
Oh.
It's a paid pattern.
It's so pretty.
Okay, so that's the picture of the adult hat. What I loved about this hat was when you do the plain one, the texture was really neat.
Oh, that is cool. Are those Okay, so are those eyelets? Are they, what is that?
They're not eyelets.
Are they pearl bumps?
It's some type of bump, yes.
It's some type of bump.
I just know that I will learn new skills and that I found a yarn to do it in.
Show the yarn.
What?
Show the yarn.
It's
pretty.
It's an extra fine merino wool superwash, pink, because it's.
But look how pretty that pink is.
Oh, it is. It is.
And I imagined this with the tiny little pearl bumps with a great big white palm for a baby hat, where it's bigger than the baby's head. And so
the baby will be like, I can't hold my head up.
it's too hot. Because, yeah. So I've wanted to knit that one for a while.
Awesome.
But how far are you on your sock? Because my guess is our socks look about the same, even though I spent last night.
Me?
Yes.
Okay.
I spent last night for like an hour to see.
Okay, but I feel like I want to specify. Now, wait a second, Jill. I want to specify. Hold on. Are you knitting the same needles? Are they the same size needle?
I did find they're 2.5.
Mine is, mine's 2.75.
Yeah. Now I'm a slower knitter.
Right. Her needles, I know that that's only 1/4 of a millimeter. So yours are 2.75, which is a size 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mine
and you're knitting yours in a 1.5, and that does make a difference. Because she has fewer stitches per inch, so obviously it goes faster.
I'm sure that's it.
It is. And she's probably a little bit faster knitter, but that's all right. It's okay.
All right. I'm the boss.
It's not a race.
I am happy with how it's turning out. I'm kind of excited now.
Yay!
I know. Think, why haven't I knit socks forever? Every time I learn a new skill, I think, why was I afraid of that? Why didn't I just try it sooner? It's not as hard as I thought it would be.
No, and that's the thing is knitting. There's always the do-over possibility. It's fine. It's not like a tattoo, right? You can have a do-over.
It's nothing like a tattoo.
You can't frog a tattoo.
That's my point.
The product versus process conversation was one of the most helpful knitting conversations for me.
Oh, when we talked about, when you were reading that book about process versus project.
Was that in one of Stephanie McPhee's little?
Stephanie Pearl McPhee. It was we talked about that. It was
Nanny McPhee, as I like to call her.
What?
Nanny McPhee, like the movie. That's how I always think of it.
No. And we'll put the link to her blog down below. It's theyarnharlot.ca because she's in Canada.
Oh, yeah. I used her.
And it was.
On.
You used her what?
Her toe decrease.
Okay.
On the sock.
Interesting. And then how'd you end up closing up the sock?
Kitchener.
Okay. Yeah. You don't like the Kitchener?
No. And you want to know why?
Sure.
Because I always end up with a little loop at the end. Do you see it?
Yes, but why?
I don't know.
Did you follow my video for Kitchener?
Yeah, I did. I watched it last night as I did this.
And
always have a loop.
Huh.
Every single time.
I don't know why that happens. I'd have to watch you do it.
Well,
I don't know.
I didn't realize there were so many opinions about socks.
Oh, yes.
Because I thought, I'll just ask someone, how do you do a sock? Like, how many stitches do you? Yeah. Everybody has a favorite.
It's like the sock religion. Yes. For real.
Sock religion. Sock religion.
And everybody thinks theirs is the only one that's right.
Only way.
Yeah. At the risk of drawing that analogy, we'll leave that there. But but you got to do what works best for you. Everybody's foot is shaped differently. Like there's even all these different toes depending on whether you You know, like, is your second toe bigger than your first toe? And there's anatomically correct left and right toes. And there's
I read about that. I almost did that, but then I was like, I'm never going to remember which sock is left and which is right.
You can tell by looking.
No.
Slippers, because your slippers eventually form to your feet.
Oh, yeah, I can totally tell which slipper is left and which slipper.
And then you can tell which slipper is left and right once they're worn in.
But when your socks go through the wash, that kind of cancels that out.
Yeah.
True.
And unless they have an L and an R on them.
You can do a little needle felting or a little duplicate stitch on the top that says the letters.
Left.
No, your other left. But like I noticed your toe is much wider. Like on your, like how many you Kitchenered more across there than I probably would have.
16.
Wow. That's a lot. See, I usually Kitchener 8 or 10.
Yeah, she said to leave like 14% of your stitches for this toe. And I just liked the roundness of it. I don't love, I really just like that it's kind of round and not like
a trapezoid.
Wet. Yeah, I just don't love that.
Well, yeah, that's how come I do the rounded toe. Basically, I took when we knitted toe-up socks and we used the seam-free rounded toe method by Lynne, Ashton.
Which I like.
I basically
just don't like toe-up socks.
I can do either one, but I took her method and deconstructed it and flipped it for cuff down. It's in one of the videos. Huh? Oh, I'll link it. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think I did that.
And I just wanted to try different toes. So this great. Sock, I'll do this toe, and then this sock, I'll do a new toe.
Well, and it's the same with heels, you know. Yeah.
I don't think I'll do fish lip kiss. I love the Eye of Partridge one. Is that what it's called?
Where you're alternating the slip stitch on the heel. That's heel flap and gusset. It's just the different way of reinforcing.
That's my favorite so far that I've done. Granted, I've only done 3 heels, but that was my favorite of the 3.
Yeah, well, that's cool.
I just hate picking up, though, which is why I liked the fish lips.
A lot of people love that pattern. Yeah. We're so easily entertained. We're making fish lips.
I know, and Jill's just knitting, and
she's just knitting.
I was admiring it. It's starting to look like a sock, and that just makes me so stinking happy. You know, when you're knitting something brand new to you, and it looks like how it's supposed to look like.
It's so satisfying.
Especially, this is the 3rd time I've started this sock, 3rd or 4th. It had to go in timeout a couple times.
That's okay. You came back to it. It's so satisfying.
I did.
And now you're going to love, socks are going to become the new dishcloth.
Yes. Speaking of dishcloths.
Oh, it's like a fascinator.
A what?
Well, like socks, socks. We can put the feathers around it. Oh my, oh yes, look.
That's for my derby party this weekend.
Yes, there you go. So it could, just think of it as a dance hat accessory, Jana.
Like a bun cover.
Yeah.
Oh, it could be a bun cover. What are all the things a beginning sock could be?
You could knit a bun cover. That could be your thing next season, bun covers. So I keep trying to tell you, dishcloths. I need to make dishcloths, but I don't want to make dishcloths, but I don't have any more in the kitchen. But I don't want to make any more. I just have too many other things to do, and I find them not that exciting.
So do you have a favorite dishcloth pattern?
No, because I never spent that much time making them. No, I knitted one dishcloth, and then I moved on to other things.
What one did you do?
It was a normal dishcloth. It was
like grandma's favorite. What, Jill?
Like knits and pearls, and that was it.
So some night you have to have Lindsay show off her dishcloth collection, because when she first started to knit, that's how she tried out all of her stitches. So she's got a dishcloth with beautiful cables, and one with lace, and one with initials, and she has a pumpkin.
When I first met you, you were doing some with initials for someone's wedding.
For my small group leaders.
I don't know. I just have too many other whips. I can't seem to make myself sit and do a dishcloth. I don't know. I need to just do some corner to corner quick nitty gritty ones just simply for the utilitarian value because I need dishcloths in my life.
That's what I use. Jill made me a ton for a wedding shower gift.
Don't even care what color they are.
That's all cotton yarn.
Oh, in your bakery thing?
So is that.
Yeah.
That's all cotton, and that's all cotton in there.
So Jill and Lindsay are going to be back on a semi-regular-ish basis. We'll have to set up a little schedule, but I'm hoping, every couple of weeks, at least once a month, we'll see what we can work out. So thanks for joining us this evening. That's been a ton of fun, and we'll do it again in a couple of weeks.
Perfect.
Bye.
Yay. Bye.